Hi everyone, this is John Wen. Today is March 31st, 2020. I will record this video to briefly talk about the progress I made in the past week. So I hope everyone stayed safe and stayed healthy during the past week. So along with the several projects still ongoing right now, I had many the group meetings during the past week, so I try my best to spend as much as time I can on the surveys reading, and so here is the highlights. So after the group meeting last week, Dr. Che and I had a continuous meeting for a few minutes. Dr. Che suggested me to start from few surveys from the list first. So because they're heavyweight papers and they're from ACM, so maybe I can get more information from them first. And what we're trying to do from reading those surveys is to finding some blank areas or some missing areas that they have, and we can work on that, like the opening fields we can find to work. Otherwise, we may need to find something else to work more wisely. So let's go through this paper, this survey 6. And this survey orchestrates the requirements of workflow as well as the challenges to achieve these requirements. So the core idea of this whole survey is 2 points. The one is requirements, and second is the challenges. So the author start from introducing the workflow from the basic, like the taxonomy. So I think the author emphasized 2 categories in main. One is a batch-based and one is a streaming-based. So for the batch-based, it works like a command prompt and it triggered by batch. And one is a streaming-based. It's like a real-time streaming applications. So the author has this orchestration analyzed in different levels. The one is a representation level, and it has different engine definition here, but we can just think about the representation is just a graph representation, or the how to orchestrating in different applications. So also it has level, such as workflow levels manages sequence of the analytic tasks, and also so it has some ambiguous phrasing that I have question with. They're not talking about further or explain further many like the complex. I think there are 26 complex keywords and 11 complexity keywords, but there is no further introduction or explanation, which makes me confused sometimes. And also it introduced a workflow mapping, which basically map the workflow or task to the programming platforms. So you can see the complexity and dynamics. So also it has introduced in a level of programming models. Basically it's a computing platforms, such as the resources we can get, so from here it defines different models, like the programming models, MapReduce, and streaming programming model, just what we talk about, the streaming type of workflow, which requires the real-time processing. So also it mentioned like the micro batch processing. Basically it's a small type of batch processing with batch of data. So also it has a SQL or non-SQL models. Basically it's based on, this model is based on the storage kind of storage category or storage type. And basically I think the missing one type is a file based, because a lot of workflows currently are based on the file based, but here they only mention database based. So also it mentioned real-time streaming data like in the message ingestion model and also the hybrid model. So in the hybrid model, it also has a lambda model or the kappa model, basically whether the batch is the first or the streaming is the first. So these two is just combine or hybrid these two approach, and then which one is the first have different names. So you also have a cloud edge data center level. So I think this survey is aiming at the cloud and edge data center level for the edge computing. So here is a section for the requirements of workflows in cloud. So I think it's reiterating the levels or introductions here above section, and reiterate like the resources, like the storage, like the data movement, consider the storage, etc., and synchronous, and also the kind of scheduling and the service level requirements, etc. And also it introduced the next. I think it has a example or it goes into the challenges directly and to address the requirements above. And what I think is paper address individual requirements individually, and they list some examples. For example, from Google or IBM, they offer some solutions to address specific area, specific specs of requirements. So I think maybe they lack kind of system view to coordinate different parts or different sections of the workflow management system together in order to deliver overall good work. So that's what I think that might be needed to introduce more about the workflow management system. But here it just has different challenges target at the requirements. And so also it after this section, after the challenges section, it has an exact order or exact in the same order to address the they have the exact solutions to address the same order of requirements or challenges as above. So you can see current approaches and techniques. They also address the cross-cloud migration as we mentioned above, and also address the resource provision and resource volatility, and also data storage. So all of things kind of they have several key points, and they reiterate them in different aspects in different sections. So I think this is how they do. And also they include the data provenance and indexing and workflow specification language, basically just like the language or the configuration file. And also they have workflow initialization. So comparing with what I read, the survey, what I read before, I think this paper addressed more on the challenges and requirements. So I think it will be helpful to the kind of researchers that want to spend time in analyzing the challenges and the requirements, and also maybe some ongoing solutions. And in the last part, I think they have ongoing, the open issues. So I think these open issues are same challenges. Some of them are overlapping challenges in above, because they also from the workflow like the fault tolerance is one requirements or challenges mentioned above, and also the distributed is also mentioned as above, and the security is also a requirement. And So cross cloud migration is also a requirement or challenge mentioned as above. So I think this paper mainly focus like this. Maybe some 4Cs or some potential solutions can be offered that would be great to make this paper more fruitful or more rich. So that's what I think. And for this survey, the most I think maybe for me it's not that helpful. Like it's not that very helpful, but I think for the new researchers might be good to let them know from these few points and what's different aspects of looking at them, and they can go through the details. And yeah, so I think this is a paper I read for the past week. And for the second item, the LPOD journal version implementation. So by send me a brief introduction and instruction on how to execute the experiment in the WeChat, and I imported the project download from his cloud drive, and I configure the project with my AWS configurations. I tried to run the diagnose workflow with Naive 1 planner and execute on the T2 micro VMs as instructed. So the execution can be done, can start and provision the right VMs, but right after their error pop up in the workflow executor beta. So I email Bai and ask if he have any insights on what could be the problem. So I don't have more updates on the following items like the ICADs, like the PHP file, and also the GPU implementation, because these 2 weeks or this coming few weeks will be very busy. I took 3 courses as well as TA staffs. That will be take me some time, but I will keep working on the research items as much as I can. So thank you so much for your time. Hope you will enjoy this video, and stay safe and healthy, and so we can continue next week. Thank you.